Woo. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. This is Kenyan Revolutionary for another quick session. I won't be here for long, but please, if you're joining in, you know the first order of business is as soon as you see that I'm live, the notification tells you that I'm live. The first order of business is to like the video. And if you're just opening YouTube and you got a recommendation to come to this channel and you're wondering what this channel is about, it's about Kenyan politics, or should I say politricks. Subscribe, share, like, comment, and put your notification on so every time I come in, you always get me. And you can join the conversation too. It's free, okay? If you want the link, I'll put the link so you can contribute to the subject matter. M. Mesh Wanjiku, karibu sana. I see you. Nice seeing you today. Karibu. I'm glad to see you. I'm so happy to see you. Mada leo is the little spat that happened between Miguna and the flavor of the month, Morara, Kebaso, Senior. So, as you can see, the topic is Miguna dismantles Morara with ease, and Morara's immaturity shows. We'll get to that. We are going to get to that. We shall get to that. Now, I know a lot of people are still, there are some people, a good number of people. A good number of people who are still believe in Morara. They believe that this young man is actually somebody who will lead them to Canaan, the proverbial Canaan. And I'm not talking about the Raila Odinga's Canaan. But if you look at what he's doing, his tweets, it is clear that this man, it's probably more than likely working for Ruto. I will substantiate what I'm saying with some evidence. I'll show you what I'm talking about, okay? Now, a lot's been happening. You remember Morara said that he wants to join forces with Rigathi Gachagua, okay? This thing is, we'll get to that too. Also, William Samoei Ruto, the president of the Republic of Kenya, the president who's not really popular at the moment, along with his unpopular deputy. There's news reports that Ruto wants to make that call to stop this whole impeachment thing. Is he thinking twice? Is it finally occurring to him that maybe this idea of removing his deputy might not be in his best interests, might boomerang, and he might have a political blowback that may cause him to be in a more precarious position than ever before. Because remember, he will only heighten tensions, not only in Mount Kenya, but in other regions. And that can also culminate into people turning against him. I mean, majority of the people of Kenyans are already against Ruto. So imagine if Rigathi Gachagua is removed, or even if he survives, there'll be a deeper rift, deeper than the Rift Valley, politically speaking, that may even cause his presidency to fall in its knees. Let's get to the matter of the day. Let's go to Miguna tweets. Or should we start with Morara? Let's go to Morara first. Morara, then we shall go to Miguna. Ama namna gani? Okay, twende kwa Morara. Now, again, if you're just joining me, I know maybe uko kazini ama you are caught up. Take a moment. Uno momento. Okay? Take a moment and just go ahead and subscribe, share, like, comment in your Facebook political groups, and all that stuff, whether it's Facebook or whatever, WhatsApp, yoyote. All right. Let me share the screen so you can see what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades, as we continue to give you what you need. I'm on again. All right. Here it is. Let's go to Kebaso. Kebaso's tweets. I'll tell you why this guy is suspicious and he's heading the wrong path by the day. He started well, but now it's just getting worse and worse. And I'll tell you why. I'm on a screen. Page ya Kebaso. Let's go. Let's just take a look at the kind of things that he's tweeting about. The kind of information he's tweeting about. If I can adjust my earpiece here so that I can, help you out. Kahawa. Akiyo ni maji ya mwarubaini. But never mind. Okay, let's get. So 1 hour ago, Morara here has a poll that is writing there. Kuna poll ambao anauliza maswali, anauliza, there are too many battles fronts. Where would you like us to focus? Again, and there you have it. The first one is civic education. Second is the IBC reconstitution. 3 is impeaching the president. Now, why are you asking this? The head of, he's the so-called leader of the Inject party, whatever the case is. Why are you still, again, okay, watch you repeat it. Let's go back. 3 hours ago, he wrote, guys, I am becoming impatient like other Kenyans. How will we live like this until 2027? Tutavumilia hiyo miaka yote kweli ama nyinyi mko sawa? 7 hours ago, he goes, I would like to thank Kenyans who contributed towards our security fund. I assure you that it will be used responsibly. I may not give you details or specific of what we have done, but when you visit the office or see me public events, you will sense a difference. Again, you are not disclosing how you use the money that has been contributed to you. Again, just everything. He's being dodgy when it comes to all this money stuff, which is becoming an issue for majority of his followers. Now, this is the poll that he asked that actually raised my eyebrows to be precise. This was 20 hours ago, and he wrote, are you patient enough to wait for 2027? The first option is I am patient. The second is I can wait till 2027. Okay? Now, these are the questions that I'm talking about. Now, the reason why I'm saying these questions are not doing him any good, I'll explain in a minute. 12 hours ago, he wrote, if you can see here, let me point it so you can read it. I hope you can follow me. Can you see the screen, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, friends, and comrades? Okay, here it is. Bad leaders come from bad citizens. Jamani. Man. Somebody needs to sit him down and actually help him because he has no clue what he's talking about. Now, he wrote a huge paragraph here. I'll read it very quickly. This is my first time reading. I haven't read it yet, but let me just help you. He says, I hope you can see the screen, and I'll get to Miguna in a few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, like, share, subscribe as I do this, okay? All right. He writes, bad leaders come from bad citizens. Citizens who only complain on social media, but never get to the ground to do the much needed civic education. Citizens who complain about bad governance, but are not willing to form political parties and take that governance from the corrupt individuals. They mock those who try. Huendi mahali, they say, jaribu MCA, they add. Citizens who incite others to go for demonstration, but they themselves never show up. Citizens who despise emerging leaders by calling them projects and all manner of names, but they themselves are not willing to emerge and do better than those who are trying. Citizens who in their private businesses or in their private places of work are already corrupt and given public office, they will steal at an advanced speed. Employees stealing from their employers but condemning corruption on X. Entrepreneurs selling fake products as originals, conning their clients. civil engineers and contractors who build substandard roads and buildings to steal money, lawyers who facilitate corruption, accountants who hide corruption by cooking figures, women who are cheating on their husbands with gym instructors but condemning Ruto as a liar, women and men who have slept their way into promotions at work but are complaining about incompetent state appointments, mechanics who steal catalytic converters from the client's vehicle, insurance workers who gave partnered with garages to steal from the insurance company, hotel waiters and kitchen staff who sell you a full chicken that has one leg, one wing, and half of its back is missing, milk vendors who add water to milk to increase in quantity, furniture makers who lie to clients that this is mahogany wood when in actual sense it's gravelia and blue gum that has been painted with mahogany stain and varnish, saloonists who whisper into the client's ear, next time usikuje hapa kushukwa, nunua braids za Abuja, nikuje nikushuke kwa nyumba. Yet you expect good governance from where? Listen, my friends, as Morara Kebaso nimejitolea, I am grateful for those who support me emotionally, physically, and financially, but I also feel bad about those who call me a con or a project of so and so. Lately, I have gotten used to it. I realize that not everyone supports me, and some people are okay with corrupt system as it is. Others hate my confidence because they themselves don't have it. Haters are good because they are the fuel in the fire of passion. They infuriate me to do more and disappoint them. That is a push in the right direction. My message to you is simple. Look at yourself and how you live your life and earn your living. Are you a citizen that deserves good leadership, or are you part of the problem? Let us create a society of values. Oh, Lord. Let me read this comment before we get in. I'll get to it. I'm about to get in. Tuingie, tuanze. Here's Wanjiku saying, Morara is learning the hard way that millions of online supporters don't always translate to people on the ground. He was lucky that his supporters showed up in his second arrest. So soon after that, first. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so Morara, Morara is like, he's going down. He's going down. Now he writes this long, voluminous tweet on his X page, blaming anyone from the milk seller, from the milkman to the saloonist, to the lawyer, to the accountants, to the ay. Again, Morara, this is exactly why if you are a serious candidate or a serious wannabe inject presidential candidate, you should get yourself a PR team and sit you down and tell you what to tweet, what to say in public, and all that. This is a bunch of nothing. Are you going to blame everyone in every profession just to make yourself feel like, okay, I'm trying? You are not the only one trying. That's number one that you have to understand. There are people who have been fighting this battle in different ways. Some people offer money. Some people offer themselves. Some people have been arrested. Some people have paid the ultimate price and got killed. Some people are still out there. Nobody knows about them, but they're working. Okia Omtata is the best example. I like the tweet that somebody put out there. Okia Omtata has been fighting for Kenyans for decades now. Okay? And nobody knew about him. And not once did I hear Okia Omtata come to any kind of public platform and ask for money and talk about he needs security. If there's somebody who needed security, it was Okia Omtata. How many times has he been attacked by goons? Remember when he filed that petition against the finance bill that he, shed the light on the unconstitutionality, how unconstitutional that finance bill was. Okay? And after he did that, he was attacked with a bunch of young people who attacked him. Not only that, he survived that accident, okay, when he was leaving Busia on Kisumu Road, okay? So if there's anyone who needs support, financial support and otherwise, moral support or whatever the case is, it is Okia Omtata. But never have I had him come in any public platform, whether it's in the X page or whatever the case, to ask for funds, okay? He doesn't offer his M-Pesa or whatever, asking people to give me some money or give me some money. No. Okay? So, again, Morara, please, why are you so defensive? Why are you out there acting as if you're the only one who can actually do this? Yes, people were happy with the kind of work you are doing by exposing the ghost projects by this government. But when you when you formed your Inject party and you started asking for money and you couldn't account for the money, which you still haven't accounted for, whether it's for security or for whatever, you still are not accountable. When people started asking these questions, now you want to go berserk on your Twitter page, blaming lawyers, accountants, milkmen, every profession, talking about how bad citizens are choosing these bad leaders. As if they can't do without you. You're the only one who can. No, Morara. I think you need a hard reality check. The fight for the struggle of liberation of Kenya will go on with or without you. The country does not need you. You can go. You can be famous today, tomorrow nobody will remember you. Moi ruled for 24 years. Where is Moi now? Nobody cares. That's what I'm telling you, Morara. Quit with these games. You are not the only one who can actually run for president. In fact, we are not interested anymore in you. Karibu Mabri, I see you there in the comment section. Mabri is telling you, Happy Mazingira Day. It used to be called Moi Day, for those of you who don't know, who are young. The piece you are enjoying right now is sponsored by Bread Based. Okay, Mabri. I see you. Let's go to Miguna. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. Hey, my drink is getting cold. Okay, twende. Are you guys ready? Twende sasa. Here is when the battle starts between Morara and Miguna. Let's get to it. Like the video, share, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff, okay? Okay. Waikwa here says, retweeted. I endorse this message. Consistency and focus are his defining rule. Okay. All right. Neto Agostino Jasudan wrote, General Miguna is a gentleman and he doesn't like conmen and duplicitous people. That's all. The former he attacks with his all. Okay, basically he's just referring to things. If you're consistent, there's some people who have been consistent. Miguna has been consistent. Okia Omtata has been consistent. The customers of this world who just popped up yesterday are not consistent. One day they're talking this and you see them rubbing shoulders. At least customer is not trying to be apologetic about his his association with all these funny characters. Morara, you started well, but you've lost it totally, and you're not going to get that respect back. I'm sorry. Let's get to it. So here, it happened that Morara and Miguna had an exchange. Okay? Wanjohi Mike is watching from Nakuru, Karibu Sana. DJ Mora is also in the house, Karibu Sana. Live from Golgotha, Milosevic. Let's get to it. Mnaiona your screen. Okay, I hope you can see it clearly. With much ease was this man dismantled. Here it is, twende kazi. This is 3 hours ago. Miguna is saying, I have received and responded to Morara's direct message to me. The struggle needs discipline, focus, and above all, integrity. Okay? Integrity. Dishonesty, opportunism, disrespect, and abuse each other is counterproductive. The struggle will and must continue with or without him. Be the judge. Now let's look at the messages that Morara was sending Miguna. Okay, because they were having an exchange. Let me see. Can you see the screen, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades? Here are the messages. Okay. All right. So this is what Morara wrote to Miguna. In case you didn't know, I was the one who drafted the submissions that got you a court order asking the IG to produce you in court and summoning Matiangi at the time. I was an intern at a law firm that defended you. Don't insult people that you don't know, haven't met, have no idea of their conviction. Let's be comrades in struggle, but don't turn sideways to fight a son who is not by all means your enemy. Unless you have a mental problem because you seem to fight everyone just because they view life differently or have a different approach. Okay? That was Kebaso Morara who was writing that to Miguna. Is referring to that time when Miguna was detained illegally, abducted, detained, and Morara is sending him a message telling him, "Yeah, listen, I'm giving you the context." So Morara is explaining that I was working for a law firm that was helping to be produced in court and was holding Matiangi, liable for illegally holding you in captivity, whatever the case is. Okay. Then Miguna here, if you can see the screen, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades, Morara responds Miguna responds to Morara's assertion here, text messages. Miguna says, Morara, I am not gullible and prone to those games. Stop trying to distract us with stunts and sectarian rhetoric. Thank you. And here's where Morara loses everyone. His response is, Mbwa wewe, you keep lying to us. Occupy while sipping wine in Canada. And NKT, I don't know what that means. Bura kabisa. Basically, verbally abusing Miguna for actually giving him a really nice, level-headed response to what he wrote. He said, thank you for working for that law firm, for helping to advocate for my freedom to be produced in court and for holding Matiangi accountable. But listen, I am not gullible and I am not prone to those games that you're playing. Stop trying to distract us with a stance. What kind of stance? Ati sijui nimevunjika shingo, mara sijui umeenda kwa umeshikwa na DCI, sijui nini. With those sectarian rhetoric. Thank you, but no thanks, okay? And what is Morara's response? Matusi. Calling Miguna Mbwa. I mean, at some point, if you're an adult and you want to run for public office, not only that, the highest office of the land, president, this is not the kind of response that you should have when you're talking to another fellow man, especially somebody who you would like to be brothers in the struggle, comrade, so to speak. This is not the language you use. So Morara shows how immature he is. He doesn't like it when he is told the truth. He has been exposed for somebody who is being part of the distraction. A project used by Ruto. At this point, it is without a shadow of a doubt. The Vampire Diaries zimeisha. It's all about all these shenanigans. Oh, DCI wamenishika, I've been abducted. Oh, sijui nilipigwa huko case KICC, whatever, wakanipiga na mawe, Bomas, whatever the case is. It's drama after drama after drama after drama. Nothing really substantive. Nothing to affect what the public are interesting about. It's just drama and drama. Hollywood. Then when he's confronted about this is a response. Anaita watu umbwa. Matusi. When people suggested, hey, Morara, you're young, you're making a mistake. Why can't you hire a PR team to help you? Because you're messing up. He's saying, oh, he wants to be authentic. And look at the authenticity that he's talking about. Look at his tweets. His tweets sounds like a 16-year-old tweeting about how the notoriety they get from online drama. This is not like an adult. He's not conducting himself as a mature adult who's running for president, who's really serious about any struggle. And to top it off, instead of rectifying where he went wrong, he goes on a whole tangent talking about milkmen and accountants and saloonists and all this nonsense that he's talking about in his tweets. What is wrong with this kid? This kid should be shunned. The gig is up, Morara. The gig is up. Hang it up. Your con game has come to an end abruptly. We're not interested. Please don't make another video telling us about how these leaders are hiding money in Dubai and they are misleading the people. We know about that. We've been knowing that for a long time. So spare us the agony. We're not interested. And to those of you who are giving money to Morara, you're the ones who should go ask him for that money. We are past that. Again, one person made a very good comparison. Okiya Omtata has been fighting for Kenyans before the Twitter age, the internet. Never have he once come on a public platform and ask for funding so he can hire a security team. Even when his teeth was broken. Are you aware of that? Omtata alipigwa mpaka meno ikavunjika. He never went to Spice FM and play all this ninio. That is what I'm talking about. Omtata hata vile alivunjwa meno, you never saw him go to a public hold a press conference na sema ati munichangie pesa. You see the kind of con game this man is doing. Mabry is telling Usihepe where Morara was inviting Rigathi to his camp. There is a tweet. Yes, I saw that yesterday. I will find it. I'll go back to his Twitter page. Morara is a crook. Morara Kebaso is a crook. In fact, he's worse than Kasmuel. Now, let's read a tweet by Miguna, which I kind of agree with, before I go and highlight that tweet that Mabry is talking about on the comment section. Here it is. This is what Miguna wrote. I hope you can see on the screen. Can you see on the screen? Can you see the screen? If you can't see on the screen, please wear miwani. The only way to remove Ruto from power is through non-stop daily protest, okay? I will repeat, I've been advocating for this. If you've been following me, you know I've been saying this. The only way to remove Ruto from power is through non-stop daily protest. Those trying to sell fear by claiming that Ruto will abduct and kill protesters must be told that Ruto has no capacity to abduct or kill 1 million or more people. Our security and safety is in our numbers. Again, our security and safety is in our numbers. The The Bangladeshi removed a ruthless murderous tyrant by protesting a huge numbers. Non-stop. The Bangladeshi removed a ruthless murderous tyrant by protesting in huge numbers. Non-stop. You don't stop. The tyranny, looting, and repression will not end until we realize this. Some of us have been struggling against repression for decades. We have been abducted, brutally tortured, detained, sedated, and forced into exile. But we have never given up. We have never betrayed the people for our selfish individual gains. We have never subscribed to sectarianism and parochialism. Don't be gullible. Be vigilant. Don't unite or work with con men, opportunists, and sectarians. Stop shouting about the formation of the IBC or the dissolution of parliament. Ruto must be removed from power first before we set up a free, independent, and a pro-people IEBC. If Ruto sets up the IBC, he will appoint his cronies who will rig elections in his favor and make him president for life. If you dissolve the parliament before Ruto is removed, he and conman Raila Odinga will rig elections and impose worse MPs than the current bleating sheep. Demanding that Ruto forms the IBC and dissolves parliament is unstrategic, foolish, and counterproductive. Don't keep asking me how and what is to be done. I have given you the only proven formula throughout history. Don't allow anyone to scare you. There is no worse system than what we have had for 62 years. The current system is violently anti-people. It perpetuates impunity, looting, tribalism, torture, murder, and injustice. You can't fear revolution which you have never had and have never failed throughout history. The system must be overhauled and transformed through our collective actions. But that work can only be achieved on the streets. And only values of integrity, equity, freedom, and social justice should unite us. Don't unite with anyone who doesn't believe in and aren't committed to those values, for to do so is to sabotage the movement. No one should deceive you that you need a leader to follow. You are not a sheep. Be organic, be formless. Tyrants decapitate revolutionary movement either by killing the leader, jailing them, or compromising them. Tyrants cannot imprison, torture, kill, or bribe a multitude of 1 million plus. As Che Guevara stated, I'm not a liberator. Liberators don't exist. The people don't need liberators. The people must liberate themselves. Viva! Do you hear me? I approve that message wholeheartedly, 159%. I said it. Even if you look at what worked in June 25th, it was the fact that the people were partyless, tribeless, and what? Leaderless. And they went, and even when the security forces or police forces were on the streets, they overwhelmed them. And look how cowardly those MPs ran away. Some of them hid themselves. They hid themselves on ambulances. Some of them had to be picked up on top of the parliament building. Okay? That's how you do it. That's how the Bangladesh did it. That's why I'm not entertaining this whole idea by the Makoures, Samuel, talking about what is this? Civic education. Who are you educating? What are you educating them for? This is not the time of education. It is as if somebody is strangling you, is strangling you, and the people passing by watching this happen are saying, "Oh, you need civic education in order to learn how to be not Nino." That is what I'm talking about. So as soon as these people, Casmuel and all these useful idiots that popped up, it was clear that they were becoming anti-revolutionaries. By doing what? Declaring themselves as leaders. How did they do it? Casmuel went to Spice FM and say, now you have to report to the collective. You can't just go to Mandamano. Now I'm the official, I've been voted on by all these different organizations as the leader of the Gen Z. And soon after that, you started seeing rubbing shoulders with people with checkered past. Same thing with this other clown, Morara. Oh, now that he got a little fame by exposing this ghost project, what did he do? He went and formed an Inject Party, receiving money from nobody knows where. He's not being accountable, open about that. Then what else did he do? Oh, now I'm the leader. I'm the presidential candidate. What is he trying to tell us? Oh, no, I'm going to run against Ruto in 2027. But to keep you roped in his bogus Inject Party, he keeps on telling you, oh, I'm the only one. I'm going to be the official opposition. I'm the one who can take Ruto out. And gives wonderful speeches about how Wazungu are extracting our natural resources. He's roping you with that while asking for money. And that's why I keep on coming back to this. Why did someone like Okiya Mtata, who even before we knew who he was, has been attacked for years? We could see the injuries when his meno yake ilipasuka. When he was giving an interview, he even told us, he even dared them. Mnataka nionyeshe vile meno yangu. I don't have the front teeth. These are fake teeth that I have here. Nilipigwa. Nikavunjwa meno. He tied himself in the parliament. He survived a road accident, which was a assassination attempt. When he defied, he was the one person who petitioned against the finance bill. He was attacked by Ruto's goons. And never has he once asked for a shilling from any Kenyan. Ati munifanyie mchango. Never asked for sympathy. But Mr. Inject talks a good talk. Then now it's all about and munichangie. Talks about how he was injured while he can still move his neck. Wakiulizo uliumia hapi. To what extent are your injuries? He tells us, oh, God is great. I'm here. I'm in circulation. Circulate yourself back to the dungeon that you came from, Mr. Morara. And now he's going in amekasirika ati sasa anaanza blame everybody that we are bad citizens. That's why we have bad leaders. Saloonists who you try to sell you what? You workers who steal from the employees. What are you talking about, Morara? You're a confused object of art and design. Please go back to your business and live your life quietly. Ukiataka kushikana Rigathi, enda mkashikana na Rigathi nyote. Stop wasting people's time. If you want to be an influencer, sawa, tutakupatia ninio. We'll go and like your ninio, your X page and retweet it if you want. Mkitaka link tawapatia link saa hizi. I have about 20 minutes. Sitakaa sana. Let me read your alafu nitaweka link. Okay. Rosa M anatuambia, there's a reason why professionals exist. I don't agree with Morara's refusal to engage the only thing he knows how to do is to be a lawyer and sell furniture. He's failing at communication and PR. Yes. I'm supporting Morara 100%. Jack Okello says that. Fair enough. There's nothing wrong with supporting him. If you want to support him, it's not a problem. Go ahead. Rosa M says, I agree with Morara that keyboard warriors like me cannot demand for anyone to place themselves in danger if I am not willing to go there myself. But calling for Occupy from Canada cannot work. Why can't he work? And again, the reason why he cannot, it's not like Miguna hasn't been on the streets. That's what he was telling Morara. He was on the streets before Morara was born. So it's not like Miguna is in telling people to go to the streets and he's sitting there in Canada sipping wine. You cannot use that argument against him. He was doing it when it wasn't fashionable. Okay? So miss me with that. Jack Okello, nothing against you, Rosa M. I'm just saying. Let Miguna come on the ground, not talking through tweets. Morara is taking government single-handedly. What is wrong with supporting Morara? Even in modern democracies, people do contribute. At no point did I say that you cannot contribute to Morara. If you want to contribute to Morara, by all means, go do so. In my personal opinion, I think Morara is a con man. He has a con job. He's working for the government. There's nothing consistent about him. There's nothing revolutionary about him. He started well by exposing the government ghost projects, but he fell on the side, and now it's more than clear he's nothing but a distraction and a con job. But go ahead, go give him some money, go contribute if you feel like you want support. By all means, do so. Okay. Rosa M. By the way, Okiam Tata is paid by interest who want to remain anonymous. Someone foot his bills. Msidanganywe. Morara needs to find a big donor, maybe Russia. Morara is being supported by Jimmy Wanjigi. The last time I checked, I never had Nani. That's the same argument that Ruto was saying, that Nani analipwa Nani Okiam Tata analipwa, and he challenged them. Table the evidence. Table the evidence. He's not asking for new. He pays it from his own pocket. He prepares his own petition. Okay? So, yeah. Hiyo story yenu ya sijui ati analipwa with the interest who remain anonymous. The government tomorrow wanasema ati sijui you had, I think there's actually a clip of Okiam Tata and Gachagua. And Gachagua tried to say the same thing, at the opposition were paying, at wakina Raila were paying. In fact, I will play it just now, just in a minute. WS Banka karibu. WS Banka is saying, what is it saying? The system is corrupt. Kenya must rid itself of the Western-based political system. Yeah. Miguna is an idealist who wants to achieve his dreams through the blood of others from his AC home in Canada. Not every Kenyan has that option. People stuck in Kenya cannot take such an extreme stance. Okay, I get what you're saying. Again, Miguna has been in the ground, has been abducted, has been tortured, has been sedated, has been forcibly exiled to Canada. What else do you want him to do? Again, how did Kenya liberate itself? How did Mau Mau liberate itself? They were not sitting there saying that nyinyi wa Kenya mko outside in the diaspora, you're not doing anything. Mmekaa tu hapo mnatuambia tupiga. They fought. How did multi-party democracy came to Kenya? The so-called Railas, Orengos, Charity Ngilu, Karua, they were on the streets. They were not sitting there saying, oh, nyinyi wa Kenya wako diaspora, whatever. Yes, there were some Kenyans in diaspora who were actually contributing money to them, exhorting them to go in the streets and protest, and they did. June 25th, were there people who are in the Kenyans in the diaspora who are contributing money to Wakina Hanifa so that the people on the ground were pate maji and flags and t-shirts and all that stuff? Yes, they were. We can't be in one place at the same time at the same place. Everyone has his life. Wengine walihepa siku za moyo walienda wakaenda diaspora, and due to their nature and their lifestyle, they can't make it to the ground. But they still can join you and contribute in the best way they can, whether it's financially, whether it's just by, tactically, strategically, thinking wise, different ways. So you can't just say that, oh, okay, nyinyi mnasema tu watu kwa sababu mko huko mbali, but there's nobody. No, especially you can't use that argument against Miguna. He has done it on the streets, and we all saw it. So you cannot say that he's just an armchair expert or an armchair revolutionary. Jaco Kelo is saying, hate ndio shida ya Wakenya, when most of the people bashing Morara can't dare do what he is doing. What exactly is he doing? I can ask for money from where I am. What's so different about what's so special about what Morara is doing? I mean, some of you just think a little. Fikiria, just use your head, brain. Tafadhali. It's not. It's there for a reason. What's so special? I can do the same thing. I'm just not in the same position as he is. He happens to be in Kenya. I'm not. So what? Morara has his own style. President, fair enough. Si umekulia Morara, bro. His reaction is basically human. Who can claim to have never had an outburst? As long as he doesn't want to vie for a political seat, I have no problem. Okay, he has an outburst. That's why I was arguing that he needs a PR team. So before akuwe na hiyo outburst yake na anze kutweet hizo vitu zake, the PR team will tell him, okay, Morara, unasikia, this is how we are going to channel that anger into something that is palatable to the public, instead of going there and asking, unaita mtu mbwa. Okay, that's my point. It is amazing how many Wakenya are fooled by faces on the TV and claiming Christianity. I'm Kenny. The political system is smoke and mirrors. Fake. Absolutely. People are inherently selfish, and I can't claim he isn't, and I'm okay with that. Fine. You are probably a Miguna fan that their own beef and their view towards each other doesn't affect my view on my... I'm not a Miguna fan. Actually, I've disagreed with him. I disagreed with him when he was supporting Ruto. I disagreed with him when he was talking about mentoring people like Morara and Caswell. I disagreed with him when he was talking about civic education at this moment in time. I'm not a fan of anybody. I have my own mind. But right is right, wrong is wrong. Any day. Again, right is right, wrong is wrong. If Miguna starts saying things or doing things that are whatever, I can stand with that. Okay? So you might think I'm a Miguna fan, but I'm not. I've disagreed with him before. Even when he was running as a governor and he had that young boy, when he fell off with that young man, I forgot his name, who was running as his whatever. So yeah. Jack Okelo. Let Miguna come and do it here on social media. People are just jealous about what he is doing. He has outshined those who think they have monopoly of calling demonstrations. Wanakula damu yao. It's not about jealousy per se. Okay, we've seen all these people come and go. When Caswell started, okay, when Caswell popped up, when Caswell was the flavor of the month, I said it. I said, Caswell, he's talking good, he's eloquent, well-dressed, seems to have, head above his shoulders, but there's something about him that doesn't sit right with me. It's almost, there's more self-promotion rather than the issues that he, that needs to be addressed, okay? Then when he started with this civic, whatever, and I was like, no, there's no time for civic education. I mean, if you want to do civic education, how long will it take for the country to be educated on civics before we remove Ruto? See what I'm saying? The Bangladeshi didn't sit there and say, okay, we need civic education. Let's just keep up with this murderous prime minister until everyone is educated on civics. Okay? So, and now it's clear that Caswell is just another passing cloud. We see the kind of people he deals with. I mean, it has to be said, okay? So then we have Morara, the flavor of the month, okay? Started well. His style was different, and I applauded him. When he was first arrested by the DCI or whatever, abducted, I was supporting his release because there was no need. I felt like nobody should be abducted with no good reason, okay? When he was exposing the ghost projects by this government, other government, I was supporting that. We were like, yes, Caswell is different, he's doing his thing. But when he started saying that he will be running against president in 2027, I knew this is another sham. Okay? And that's where I started calling it out. I said, listen, he's not going anywhere. In Mchezo town, he's not going anywhere. So there's nothing about jealous about that. Whether he calls for demonstration and it succeeds or not, it has nothing to do with it. We are just saying, if anyone, one of these pop-up artists, these people who are popping up as leaders or whatever the case is, who are claiming to be revolutionary, we have to look at where their interest is. What are they advocating for? What are they really standing for? We have to scrutinize that. There's no jealousy or anything. We just have to be careful. Unless you want to end up like the Azimio people. I mean, listen, how many people here, I mean, just the other day, how many people have been talking about how they're disappointed in Raila Odinga? Because they thought Raila Odinga is this great revolutionary who has been fighting for Kenyans. Then what happened after akilituambia ataenda State House? Alafu akafanya nini? Akaingia kwa serikali na ndio huyo anaenda AU. In fact, he's supporting Ruto wholeheartedly now. Why? Because when it was time to scrutinize his action and we started asking questions and doubting his revolutionary credentials, some of you said we were jealous. Some of you called us my names. But now you're in the same spot. We can all agree that Raila is a conman. Same thing with Ruto. Well, Ruto was telling us bottom up, bottom up, bottom up. Majority of you were buying that silly stuff and you went on and voted for him overwhelmingly. Now you are sitting here saying, oh my goodness, we got duped by Ruto. Well, we were calling him out as a con artist. We were calling us jealous, or Ruto's you ameenda Paris and gave a wonderful speech. This guy is like the next Martin Luther King. This guy is the next. Now look at you. Same thing. So if you're going to put yourself out there in the public, you're going to be scrutinized. The question is, do you have the big boy pants to actually respond accordingly as a mature public figure? And that's why some people said he needs to hire PR Renio. But it's too late now because the damage has been exposed. Morara is a young hero. Prezo, stay positive. Okay, you stay positive. But it's okay. What is Okiomtata's highest level of training? I think he's a lawyer by profession. I think. I'm not sure. I'm willing to be Nineo, but I think he's a lawyer. Does he qualify to be president? While I like the guy, he doesn't seem to be qualified to be president in that aspect. Correct me if I am wrong. I think I think Okiomtata is more than qualified to become a president. More than qualified. Just based on his activism alone. Okay? He single-handedly stopped Ruto from that finance bill thing. Okay? Anyway, Morara is just needs guidance and fine-tuning. Otherwise, he's brave enough to help us fight for a better tomorrow. Again, Jack Okello, you're talking about Morara will help us. Morara will help us. No one person will help you liberate Kenya. You have to be a collective. Mtu yoyote nakuja hapa na kuambia ati yeye ni Yesu, aendi anawadanganya. That's why there was that quote that Miguna put there of Che Guevara. He cannot liberate you, but the people can liberate themselves. It has to be a collective. Wewe Joe Okello, you're talking, you're still these Morara supporters, and now you're starting to sound like Raila supporters. You're looking for an individual to work his miracle. Move. Morara. You'll end up the same place that the Raila supporters ended up. You'll end up at the same place that Ruto supporters ended up. You'll end up at the same place that Uhuru supporters. Nowhere. Stop looking for one person to liberate you. You have to liberate yourself. And the only way to do that is to do so as a collective, as a people, majority of the people. Okay? He is a fraud like Kenyatta, Ruto, Raila, and the rest at Penn. I agree with that. Yes. Jack Miano is here. He's telling us, I think you should get in touch with Morara and share some wisdom with him. He is young, maybe just confused by all attention. But for Miguna, let him come to the ground, even in his car. It's okay. Maybe Jack umeingia kuchelewa. I told you Miguna has been on the ground. He has done it, did it, whatever, the whole nine. He's been done it. Yeah. If Morara needs my 2 cents, I am willing to help him. Okay. If that's the issue. Okay. As it looks to me, as it seems like that, he seems like a con man. Number one thing that he needs to stop doing is to ask for money. Stop that. That's number one that he needs to do. Stop asking people for money. Endelea na zile vampire, whatever. Expose this government. Endelea hivyo. And the number one thing that you need to advocate for, Morara, if you want to stay on people's side, is call for Ruto, for people to come together so that Ruto can be removed from power. Galvanize people, ndio Ruto atolewe. This is not about being the presidential candidate in 2027. Anyone who's talking about being a presidential candidate in 2027 is not here to liberate you. Is only here to achieve their personal goals. WS Bank anasema Ruto administration pays for support, but Wakenya believes these people are genuine. Absolutely. There's more than good reasons to believe that Ruto is using Morara. Especially, why would he say that Gachagua is worse than Ruto? And Ruto is the... Yeah. True. Right is right, wrong is wrong. So do you claim that to have done no wrong, whatever Morara has said isn't okay, but I stand with the freedom of expression? I'm not saying he shouldn't say what he wants to say. Again, you are conflating issues here. I'm not saying he doesn't have right to express himself, but I'm saying if he wants to be part of a struggle, okay, not even part of a struggle, if he's presenting himself, he's the person that he has a majority of the people, not majority, but people are following him, and is a national figure as he is, there's way to conduct yourself. You cannot call people names, umbwas, unini, or just go over saloonist, milkmen, and all that stuff. That's why some people, rightfully so, called for him to get a PR team to help him manage his social media accounts. It will help him rather than just unasimama hapo and again, that's why I'm saying he's immature, because he cannot control his emotions. That's what I'm saying. But he can say whatever he wants to say. I will support his right to say whatever he says, even if it's stupid. But he has the right to say. That's not in dispute here. No, you just want to be right. That doesn't mean your perspective is correct. These are frauds you are supporting. at Wanjohira. There you get your answer from WS Banker. He's an adult. Whatever he has said, okay with him. And as long as he does not turn to physical assault, I can't let it slide. Okay, I don't know what to do. Kenya Rebel, who do you support? Nyagaka, why are we talking about 2027? That's number one. I'm not supporting anyone 2027 because I want Ruto out before the end of the year. We want to 2027. Mimi nataka Ruto atolewe before December. Nyagaka, I'll bring you here in a minute. Okia is not a lawyer. There is a graduate requirement to become a president. Okay, maybe he's not. I'll do my research on him. But I'm saying he's competent enough as a legislature. I think he's a senator or a MP or something, okay? Which there's a requirement for that. And I think he's doing a damn good job at it, okay? So there you go. Thank you for the correction, though. I have to look at I thought he was a lawyer. But I will look into it. Thank you, Rosa, for the correction, if you're right. Wanjohi, personally, I am fearful of anyone who claims to back up or support me, especially Kenyans or Africans, not to be racist, just a general prejudice. They will skin you alive when you crack. No, they won't. Morara is cracking because he's immature. That's number one. Number two, there's some things he can do differently that can actually earn him more support. But he doesn't want to do it. A, he's not clear about how he spends the money that is being contributed to him. B, he seems to be reading from the same script that Ruto is reading, which is impeach Rigathi. I can go on and on. Check Okia's CV on the Parliament website. I will. Thank you, Rose M. I will. Thank you for the info. Thank you. I will. Combination of Morara and Okiomtata. No. I don't want to see Morara near Okiomtata. I don't want to see Morara and Okiomtata. No. Morara, I do not trust him. I do not trust Morara Kebaso. Tag Morara so that he can listen to the show and get informed. Yeah. I used to be able to run the show the same time so that on X, but right now I'm having trouble to run it to the X. I think I have to get the blue tick or just have a certain subscription on StreamYard so I can do that. But Jackson, can you do me a favor? Just show him this video when this stream ends. Jackson Miano. Just share this on his page, on his comment section. I know he reads his comment section. He's more than welcome. If you know Morara, please, Morara, come. Let's tuongee. I'll be nice. Sita kutukana. We'll talk. You might redeem yourself. I don't know. I'll tell you why I think you are working for Ruto. Now, if you convince me otherwise, whatever. Speak your piece. I'll be respectful. Tag him. Bring him. Morara, ukisikia kuja. Usiogope. We'll have a nice discussion. Okay? You never know. By the end of the day, you might convince me. I might support you. As of right now, I think you're working for Ruto. I don't believe you. But fair enough. You're welcome. Anybody who knows Morara, pass the message. Jack Okelo say liberation is for all of us, but there must be someone to lead. Not necessarily. You don't need a leader. You don't need not a leader for us to be liberated. Candid, I don't know what you're saying. I will not read it. I don't know if you need Matusi, Amanini. I don't know what it is. If Ruto be outside, what's next? IBC, we don't have. Yeah, there was a process of choosing the next commissioner. Again, I mentioned this. If you remember, there was that IBC amendment bill, which is now law. And it was greatly passed by the ODM UDA faction, okay? and some parts of that IBC amendment bill are problematic. For example, the part that actually says that they can have mobile voting stations. Two, what else? The fact that the bill makes it in such a way that majority of the people, or rather the ODM and the UDA faction, will have a lot of say as to who becomes the IBC commissioners. Now, if they have the IBC commissioners of their liking, obviously, remember, IBC commissioners or the body are the ones who declare who wins elections, okay? So you do the math. That's why I'm saying you cannot trust IBC as it is constituted right now with the new amendment bill that is greatly influenced by the ODM UDA faction. Okay? It's almost as if this parliament is the one who is going to choose the next IBC commissioners, okay? And you know how this parliament is greatly compromised. So we cannot go that way. I don't have any faith on IBC. That's why for those people who are calling for the IBC to be constituted, that's a trap. Actually, that is something that's coming straight from State House, Ruto himself, okay? What is your take on Jimmy Wanjigi? I think Jimmy Wanjigi is doing some good things as far as exposing our debt. He did his own accounting. I think he's doing. He does some good things, but I do not trust his overall motive. The reason why I say that, Jimmy Wanjigi made his money by doing business with government regimes that we know are, the past regimes are criminal organizations, okay? Jimmy Wanjigi has been rubbing shoulders with Ruto, Raila, and Uhuru Kenyatta. He told us that the government of Uhuru Ruto was formed at his living room, kwenye living room yake, kwa nyumba yake. So that kind of gives you an insight as to the level of influence he has, how close he is with the political elitists in Kenya. So someone like that is not someone I would trust to bring a true change in Kenya as far as the structure is concerned. I don't trust him to bring a complete overhaul of the system, given the fact that he is someone who has been in bed with these political elites for years. You remember when Ruto earlier a few years ago, when he took when they were attacking, they were asking Mama Ngina to pay taxes, the Kenyatas to pay taxes. And when Wanjigi was in a church, same church that Mama Ngina was, and he said, ukianza kuguzaguza mambo ya Kenyatta, you are touching a live wire, basically coming into defense of Kenyatta. Now, anyone with a brain who has lived in Kenya and know the history of the Kenyattas will know that that's the biggest family that has taken advantage of Kenyans, okay? So I don't trust the overall motive of Jimmy Wanjigi, but he's saying the good things and he's done some good things, but his overall motives, I don't trust him. I just don't trust him. But that's my take. I might be wrong. My opinion is not gospel truth. Anyway, tell us how you can do it without a leader. The same thing we did in June 25th. Nani, Jack, Okelo. How did we do it in June 25th? Did we have a leader? No, we didn't. Watu walienda wakakutana, walizungumza kwa X, wakasema tukutaneni, tukarutoe Ruto. That's how you do it. You don't need Morara to tell us that it's 2027. That's what I'm saying, Nani. Get it together. Get it together. He wasn't meant to be trusted. As long as he's moving around, showing failed projects, which were initially never clearly pointed out, I think he deserves some support. Absolutely. I'm with it. That's why I said I liked him for the fact that he was exposing the government projects that nobody was talking about. In that sense, I like what he does. But I'm saying later on when he started mambo ya kuomba pesa, then he started echoing what Ruto wants, like, oh, Gachagua is worse than Ruto. Then now he's talking about 2027. Then he has a political party. Then he got off the rail. And then his outburst and his maturity showing when you ask about how he uses his money. That's when he started showing red flags. So he can go back and do his neo. We're not saying we disrespect Atupendi Morara, but we're just saying that there's enough red flags to believe that this man is being used by Ruto to do whatever he's doing. I agree with your sentiments on Wanjigi 100%. Let me do his business. Okay. Fair enough. Please, people, if you send money for security structures, why do you want to know the details of what the money was used for? Please, presenter, if you have never been in any business, it is hard. We are not, again, I said this yesterday, maybe you're late to the party. I never say that, okay, Morara, please break down how your security structure is. Ukuna askari ngapi hapa kwa ofisi? That's not what I'm saying. Okay? People gave you money when you say that you are in the hospital, you need your hospital bills paid. Okay? You should be able to tell us how much, what was the extent of your injury? How much did you spend on the Nenio? If somebody asked. Ulisema kichwa inauma. Walikutibu nini? Walitibu nini vile ulienda kwa hosi? Okay, you said you want security. What were you using it for? Like, what exactly? Bodyguards? More bodyguards? Did you to buy some more machine gun? Break it down. Listen, if you ask for money from me and I give you some money, I have the right to ask you, how did you use the money? Bitunils. Unasikia? This is not a business issue or whatever the case is. I'm not expecting you to break down the structural architecture of your security organization or whatever the case is, setup. I'm just asking, how did you use that money on what? Bodyguards or what? Did you put some bulletproof windows? You can answer that. Simple questions. You went to the hospital. You said you wanted help with your bills. Ukiulizwa, ulienda hospitalini kwa nini? What was the nature of your injuries? Ulivunjika mgongo, kichwa, nini? How did you spend that money? Upate matibabu kwa nini? Just the same way as some people, when they ask for money for a transplant because they want a new lung or whatever the case is, you can tell them, yes, I need 26,000 or 250,000 for my lungs, a new lung, a new kidney, a new something. Break it down, you know? Why is it so hard? Charlie, come on. What about Fred Mitiangi? Can we focus on? No, we cannot focus on Fred. No, we cannot focus on Mitiangi. No, we cannot focus on Mitiangi. No. Okay. Kuna mtu anataka link. All right. Yeah. I'll be here for 15 minutes. Kujeni wale watu nataka kusema, I'll give you 15 minutes. Mutoe kila kitu kwa roho. Butana. I agree with your sentiments. I don't know. Jiggle and him to concentrate on his bed. Right. All right. Watching my party link for I'll be here for 15 minutes and then we'll wrap it up. I've been here for quite some time. All right. Nani, Mabri atupatie the latest news hapa na I know DJ Moda also wanted to know. Nyagaka ukitaka kusema kutetea Morara ndio hiyo. Kuja ujitetee. Link ndio hiyo, ingieni mniambie kila kitu. Ask the questions. And if I don't have the answer, I'll tell you I don't have the answers. If I have the answers, I'll give you the answer. Or I'll give you my opinion. Ndio hiyo basi, ingieni, niko na dakika 15. I'll have another session in the evening, so don't feel bad. But I know it will be late in Kenya, so ingieni size. Not in Kenya. I'm in Kenya already. I'm somewhere. Ndio hiyo. Link ndio hiyo mkitaka kuingia. Mabri or whoever. Ndio. Halima is saying some of you mdomo too kwa space. You can't be brave like Morara, who is risking his life every time. Okay. Tulipewa mdomo tuongee. I mean, like I said, we have different lifetimes. We have different lifestyles. We are in different places. We all can't be on the same place at the same time. Halima, Morara ako Kenya, anafanya mambo yake. Wengine wetu tuko pale tuko na tunafanya mambo tunafanya. Haimaanishi ati hatuwezi kuzungumzia Morara. If anything, Halima, that's fine. You can agree with Halima. There's nothing. If anything, if you don't know, there's an organization that is sending money to Morara from diaspora. Okay, so they are funding Morara's project. Okay, so Morara cannot stand up and say anyi mko huko diaspora amwezi kusaidia hapa mkuje hapa ati muanze kufanya ile kitu nafanya. Well, we are supporting you. Umejitolea, uliuliza pesa, ulipewa pesa. The reason why we are supporting you by giving you financial ninio na kupatia ninio ma advice is because we can't be on the same place at the same time doing the same things. Mpaka wengine wetu tuko huku kwa sababu tunafanya vitu vyetu ndio tupate hiyo pesa ya kukutumia ndio ufanye nayo hiyo project yako. Sasa hiyo project yako ikianza kuonekana kwamba wewe uko na ukora hapo, sisi tutakwambia hiyo mambo yako inaenda mrama. Na usianze kukasirika ukianza kusema ati wewe uko huko diaspora huwezi kuja hapa kufanya hii kitu. Ati mimi am brave na wewe hauko brave na mimi ndio nakupatia pesa ndio uende ukufanye hiyo mambo yako ya braveness. Use your head. So again, he chose to be a public. Listen, if you're going to be a public figure, uta face criticism. Watu watakuchambua kwa sababu umejitolea. So usianze kusema ati nyinyi hamjanitolea kama mimi. Nyinyi mmekaa hapo, you are bad employees, you are bad sijui nini, you are bad nini. Mimi ndio nimejitolea. You see how moronic that sound? How silly? That's what I'm saying. But anyway, Mabri anatuingia hapa. Mabri, karibu Mabri, start where you want. Tuko na dakika 15. So endelea, you can start wherever you want. Uniambie kama ni mambo ya Morara, Gachagua na mambo yote. Karibu sana, endelea. Mabri, unmute. Ni kama Mabri sijui Ruto alifanya ile kitu. Mabri ko sawa? Mabri? Haya basi, naona mambo imesimama hapo. I don't know if I've frozen ama. Yeah. Jackson anasema, I would like for us to form a culture of correcting rather than condemning. Do you think so? Absolutely. But, you know, who is condemning Morara? If I point out what I think is wrong, why I feel he might be working for the government, okay, that is not condemning him. I'm simply saying, Morara, wewe, and I've been consistent. I wish Nyagaka was here or somebody else. I've been saying what I liked about Morara, what separated him from the other, the customers of this world and Masi Tarus, was the fact that he came in a different way. He had his own way, exposing the government's projects and doing all stuff, which was fine, and I liked it. But later on, there were some red flags that made me say, I don't know, sijui, I don't know what's wrong. Jaco Kelo ameingia. Jaco Kelo, karibu sana. Naona uko na maneno yako pia. Karibu. Sijui kama ni mtandao ama nini. Everyone's connection is not. Mabri amehepa, sijui connection yake Jaco Kelo ndio huyo. All right. Ndio huyo Jaco Kielo. Karibu sana. Go ahead. Can you speak? Jaco Kielo, I can see you, but I can't hear you. Unmute. Okia might be funded via Mabri amerudi. Jaco Kielo, I can't hear you. You sauti namna gani? Mabri, can you hear me and can you speak?
Yeah, yes. Nakusikia vizuri. Pole, nilikuwa nabapa kidogo ndio nikaonekana vizuri.
Sasa naona unasikia mziki huko, sijui uko wapi wewe. Umeanza sherehe mapema.
Nimesikia.
Lakini nasikia mziki on the background, mziki kali sana. Sijui kama mnaweza kuweka volume chini. Yaani uko kwa bar. Jaco Kielo, unaweza kuongea?
I don't know whether you are getting me.
I can. Mabri, funga mziki. Yeah, now I can get you. Go ahead, Mr. Okello. Unmute Jack. Ai, leo tuko na shida. Jack, go ahead. Aya. Okay, go ahead. I can hear you.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening. Karibu sana.
Asante sana for the show.
You're welcome. Endelea, maoni yako.
Yes. I'm just saying Morara needs some advice, but so far so good. He's doing a good job, because most of Kenyans are not ready to stick their neck out to stand up for their right. Hata kama wananyanyaswa namna gani, hawataki kusema ukweli. Kila mtu anaogopa, but kupata mtu mdogo kama Morara standing up to fight this government single-handedly, it is not easy. Because tunanyanyaswa, lakini hatutaki kusema na hatutaki kutoka nje kusema tunafinywa. But sisemi ati anafanya, there are some areas where he normally gets it wrong. Name calling, dropping names anyhow is not right. But he needs some guidance and advice. Bado hana experience. But we need more Kenyans to come out and fight so that we can liberate this nation. Hii ukabila mwingi yenye Wakenya wameweka, lakini hakuna kitu inatusaidia. Kuna viongozi wenye wanajifanya they are fighting for us, lakini wameweka matumbo yao mbele. So we need civic education. We need to tell our people that our interest should be what is guiding us. Sio viongozi. Haistahili tuimbe viongozi kuwapigia makofi, and yet they are doing nothing for us. They are cutting deals.
Yes. And that is why I was telling you on the comment section, nilikuwa nasema hivi, it is better if we stop looking at leaders to leaders. Instead, we should come together na tufanye vile tulifanya June 25th. Tukusanyike, tuendeni huko CBD, Twende State House tutoe Ruto. Si nilifanyika 25 hivyo. Vile tulienda huko kwa nini Occupy Parliament, tulikuwa hatuna leader. Kulikuwa ati sijui hakuna ati sijui Kasmwe ndio leader wetu, sijui Hanifa ndio leader wetu, sijui Morara ndio leader wetu. Tulienda tu kama wananchi, tumesema tumechoka na hii serikali, tutoe huyu rais ama tuende tutoe hao wabunge to occupy hii nio. Unaona? That is the way, effective way. Sasa hakuna ati mtu sijui tunaangalia Morara, kwa sababu tukikuwa na leader itakuwa tu kama vile unaona vile tulikuwa tunafuata wale watu wafuasi wa Raila. Walikuwa nafikiri Raila atakuwa rais, alafu Raila akaenda huko akaingia kwa serikali na wakaachwa kwa mataa. Na wale watu walikuwa wanafuata Ruto, walikuwa nafikiri Ruto atawapeleka bottom up. Sasa wakapelekwa up down. Na hao pia wameachwa kwa mataa. So we should stop looking at leaders and tukubaliane ati haya kama hii system haifanyi kazi, tutoe hao wananio. Let's remove all these leaders. Ndio maana nasema Morara alianza vizuri, alikuwa anafanya kazi nzuri. Ana expose hii government na hii mambo yote, lakini sasa hii mambo yake akaanza mambo ya sijui kuombaomba pesa, akiulizwa pesa unatumia namna gani haezi kusema na wakininio akaanza kusema ati Rigathi is worse than Ruto. Sasa unawezaje kusema ati Rigathi is worse than Ruto na Ruto ndio rais? Ruto ndio anafanya hizi decisions za kunyanyasa wa Kenya. Unaona? Sasa hapo ndio watu wakaanza kufikiria huyu Morara huyu na akiambiwa tafadhali wacha kusema sema ati sijui nini. Wewe ni kijana mdogo vile umesema, he needs experience. Ndio maana tunataka angekuwa na PR niyo team imsaidie kucommunicate. Unaona? Lakini akiambiwa hivyo anaanza matusi, anasema sijui nini. Sasa ndio tunaona hii ni distraction sasa. Unaona? Ndio maana tunasema watu, we don't need to look for a leader. Let us come together and remove these leaders that we don't want so that we can rule ourselves. Ama unaonaje nani Mr. Okello?
I agree with you 100%. Mimi unajua nilikuwa mfuasi sugu wa Raila. Lakini tangu nigundue ya kwamba yeye anafanya biashara na sisi, anaenda na cut deals, watu wanakufa, yeye anachotewa vitu zake, anatuacha kwa mataa, atuulizi chochote. I will no longer follow such kind of leaders because I have got my own principles. So when you unasema that we can do it by ourselves, that's the way to go. If people can just come along the way we did it on 25th June, then that is the way to go. But it has to start, conversation has to start with the one person, then inagather to momentum pole mpaka watu wote wa come together, because it needs collective effort. One person cannot do it.
Absolutely. Hata unaona Miguna alisema hivyo, hata Babu Owino said the same thing. Babu Owino alisema ati watu wanafaa tuwaende kwa street wa protest mpaka Ruto zakaya shuke non-stop, hakuna kustop. And Miguna says the same thing, and these are two people who usually don't agree on anything. So that is the conversation that we need to now start focusing on. Wa makabila zote kutoka kwa sehemu zote za Kenya wakuje pamoja na waseme we are going to the streets kama Bangladeshi, tumechoka na Ruto atolewe, toka.
Exactly.
That is it. Exactly. Anyway, Mabri sijui alienda wapi. Najua umekuja kuchelewa, lakini nafunga tu duka saa hizi, nitarudi baadaye. But asante sana bwana Jack Okello kwa tujoin na kutoa maoni yako. Thank you sana. Usisahau kusubscribe na like na tume hii video Morara aone, mwekee hapo kwa X ndio akuje hapa atuelezee maneno. Maybe anafanya makosa ambayo anaweza kurekebisha. But thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much Jack Okello, and have a great evening, night. Na tuonane the next time takuwa live. So
thank you very much.
Thank you. Aya, to all of you else who are here, Jack Miani, na kuona hapo Jack Miani unasema Labani Misiani umeingia na uchokozi hata wewe. Jack Miano anasema for now I think we should not concentrate on the side shows. We have one goal, and everyone everyone, concentrate on one side shows. On the side shows, we have one goal, and everyone with a big following is needed. Even Caswell is needed, not for leadership, but for the hashtags. Yeah, but the problem is ukiingiza watu kaa Caswell, if you have people who have, their goal is not the same as yours, they will, wataanza kutenganisha watu. Unaona? It's like telling Raila Odinga, can you join us in our movement kutoa Ruto? It won't work because they are, anataka kwenda, anataka kuwa prime minister or whatever the case is. So, yeah. You see what I'm saying? Ubaya nyinyi advisors mko majuu, mnatubeba ufala, the likes of Miguna. Incite us to, then they watch us die. Hakuna mtu amekuambia uende ukakufe. Nani amekuambia ukakufe? Nani amesema ukakufe? Nani? Kevin, whatever the case is. Tunasema hivi, kama hutaki kwenda maandamano, ni sawa. Wewe unaweza kukaa kwa nyumba, usiende. Fungua TV uangalie tu vile watu wengine wanaangalia. Usiende. No one is telling you to go to maandamano if you don't want to. Sisi tunasema tu hivi, the only proven way ambayo rais anaweza kutolewa is through a popular revolution. Kwa sababu Ruto amenunua wanabunge, Ruto amenunua the judiciary, Ruto amenunua all the independent bodies, governmental independent bodies kama IBC, EACC, DCI, police na kila kitu. Sasa huwezi kumtoa by impeachment kwa sababu atanunua bunge yote, atawapatia 500 million yote, kila mtu 500,000 yote. Na hata kwa impeached. Ukijaribu kumtoa through the judiciary, atapatia Kioni pesa. Kila mtu pesa, hautamtoa. So the only way ni watu wakuja wakusanyike pamoja na waseme sisi tunaenda kumaandamana na tutamaandamana mpaka Ruto atoke Kenya. Just like Ninio walifanya Bangladeshi. Now, if you disagree, that's fine. Sisi tunasema tu that's the only option that is remaining. Hakuna mambo mengine. Kungoja ati sijui mpaka 2027 hautamtoa. IBC ndio hiyo ameshachukua IBC. Na hiyo IBC amendment bill. So you're not going to remove him. Usijidanganye. So unasikia Kevin? So usianze kusema ati sisi tunakuambia ati inciters ati sijui muende mko ati mkakufe. No one is telling you ati muende mkakufe. Kama mmesema hautaki kwenda maandamano, usiende, kaa nyumbani. But ukikaa nyumbani usianze kucomplain ati Ruto anakutesa, sijui Ruto anachukua kitu, Ruto amechukua dani, Ruto amechukua sijui nini, because you chose not to do anything. So don't complain if you don't want to do anything. Again, we can't all be at the same time, same place, same time and do the same things. Maisha ni hivyo. Kuna wengine wako kwa nini, kuna Wakenya wengine wako jeshi ya nchi za mbali. Wanafanya kazi na serikali ya nchi za mbali. Hawezi kuacha tu kazi yao huko diaspora wakuje Kenya ati wanafanya maandamano. Unasikia? Lakini wanaweza kusaidia kutoa maoni, kutoa advice na kutuma pesa kwa wale wao ambao wamekubali kujitokeza kwenda maandamano ili wamtoe Ruto. Wasikia Kevin? Sawa, wewe usichukue ati watu nakwambia tu uende wewe enda ukakufe huko. Nani akwambia? Hakuna mtu amekwambia uende kukufe. Kama hutaki kwenda maandamano, usiende maandamano. Labani naye na uchokozi wao. So that is what I'm saying. Kenya has a large middle class and fears chaos unless these people are angry enough. Ruto is here to stay. That's a good point. Yeah. I don't know about the large middle class, but I understand what you're saying. But I understand the middle class are the ones who needs to be peed off. So I understand what you're saying, Rosa M. That is true. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, it has been a nice talk, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades. Mimi wacha nifunge duka. Just do me a favor. Share this with nani. Enda katagini tag what's his name? Morara. Mtag akitaka kuja hapa. Morara, you're invited. Kuja hapa, will be respectful. Tutaongea vizuri, kinagaubaga, tutakuuliza pesa umetumia namna gani na mambo mengine. alafu tueleze kinagaubaga. If you win our hearts, we'll vote for you. If you don't, no. Lakini we are not waiting till 2027 to remove Ruto. We want to remove Ruto now, yesterday. That's what we are talking about, okay? If that is to work, let everyone stop concentrating on individuals and we start concentrating on issues like Adani and Shah. They are trying to divert our attention. Ukweli, yeah. It was all about attention. Hii mambo ya Morara na nini Gachagua, it's all distraction, okay? So, yeah, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, share, like, comment. Na mushare hizi on your WhatsApp political groups, na Facebook, na kila kitu. Mushare na like na kila kitu. Na also subscribe so that every time I wake notification on, so every time I'm here, unaweza kunipata. Thank you so much, Laban. Labani Misiani na mambo yako. Thank you Jaco Kelo ambaye aliingia hapa katujoin. Mabri pia, thank you very much. I know your stuff was not all the way working. Everyone in the comment section, Kevin and everyone else, Jack Miano, Bitunils, Halima, Wanjohi Mike, siwezi kusema Albert Akinda, Wanjohi, kila mtu. Nashukuru. Again, like na mushare, na like hii video na mushare na subscribe. Make sure you put your notification kwa simu yako. So when I come live, utanipata hapa. Nitarudi tena in a few hours, let's say 5 hours or something like that. Thank you, Jaco Kelo. I really appreciate your maoni yako. Very intelligent man. So tuonane baadaye jamani. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. We Gypsy Kona umechelewa. The party was hot. But thank you, Gypsy. Nice seeing you as always. Sawa basi. Tuonane baadaye. Peace and blessing, guys. I'll see you later on today or tonight. It's already night in Kenya. Today. Peace and blessings.